Zuck the cuck drinks water like a duck, but he also drinks your data. So tell him and Google to shove your data up their schwing-schwangs by downloading the Brave browser. It's free, blocks online advertising, and protects your privacy and data from evil tech companies. You only see ads if you want to see them, and you get cryptocurrency for your attention. Don't let Zuck use you to make a buck. Download Brave by clicking on the link down below.
What's up, you cock-wrangling Mary Sue's? Terrence Popp here from Redonkulous.com. And Bad Pop, he showed up today. And why? Because this is the episode you've all been waiting for, and you know it. Today, we're gonna be reviewing Disney's Star Wars. Oh my God, burn them off. These movies have turned a bunch of iconic characters into a cum-dripping dumpster fire. Because the Force is female now. Women. Disney is a sad tale of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. The Star Wars franchise was the definition of a sure thing. Even the prequels made over $300 million each in America. And somehow, with better special effects, a bigger budget, and better actors, you still fucked it up. Even Rogue One, the best of these movies, is still fucked up. And the only reason why I didn't walk out of Rogue One because I was prepared to, it turned into a one-way mission and they all died. And it does have the best Darth Vader scene that has ever been put on film. Even if it does open up a plot hole bigger than a porn star's brown eye. A New Hope picks up minutes after Rogue One ended. Darth Vader literally watches the Death Star plans go from hand to hand right before the dude gets cut in half. Leia takes the plans and she's wearing the exact same shit that she wore in the first movie. Even though Darth Vader saw this shit happen, she says this.
I want to know what happened to the plans they sent you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Woman, really? Who the fuck do you think you're fooling? I'm just saying.
I'm a member of the Imperial Senate on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan.
You're a damaged goods lady. Fuck you.
I have to ask on behalf of me and 2 generations of fans, what the fuck were you thinking, bro? So now, please, pour yourself the menagerie, and I've already burned through mine, because we're gonna go over how Disney has fucked Star Wars. The number one way Disney chicken fucked this whole thing is they didn't have a plan, and it's absolutely obvious.
Chicken fucked?
Yeah, that's worse than clusterfuck.
I don't know when this new trend of weaponizing nostalgia started.
But...
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. That's exactly what they did right out of the gate with The Force Awakens.
Seriously, this is a remake of A New Hope.
What? What the fuck you talking about?
Original Star Wars is about a kid who grows up on a desert planet. He's befriended by old wise people fighting for a rebellion against an evil empire that has perfected a weapon that can destroy a planet. The Force Awakens is about a kid who grows up on a desert planet, who gets befriended by people who introduce her into a rebellion fighting against an evil empire that has perfected a weapon that can destroy planets. Are we seeing the parallels here?
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Not only is it the same plot, but it is deliberately shitting on the original trilogy.
Just by having the First Order, with no origin story, no answers to why they sprang up out of nowhere and started taking over for Palpatine's work, you negate all of the sacrifices of the people who suffered, died, and fought for a new republic.
You know what? I think we can write a better story than this piece of shit right now.
Imagine a movie where our three heroes from the original trilogy see all their work brought to fruition and then see it destroyed before their very eyes, and they have to work for 2 other movies to get it all back.
Instead of dying one by one before we can see them all together? Fuck these movies, Screen 5.
Fuck them.
Yep.
Even with all of that shit we just said, most of us were willing to give these movies a fair shake in the beginning.
Yeah, you're right. Clearly people wanted to see it because it made over $2 billion.
With a B. But here's the problem with a movie that's all set up and no payoff. It's only gonna be as good as the answers to its questions.
And this is where Ruin Johnson came in with The Last Jedi. Oh my God.
And he was allowed to do anything he wanted, as long as he bent knee in the Church of Feminism and kissed ring with the Lucasfilm bitch.
Anyone who has seen this movie knows that Rian Johnson has no respect for the original movies.
Let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
Fuck, he didn't even have enough respect to continue the story that he was being handed.
The Force Awakens ends literally with a cliffhanger.
Yeah, look at him. He's standing on a fucking cliff. Cut to credits. Oh my God, I can't wait to see what happens next. You want to know what happens next?
What?
Psych! He throws it away and then storms off like a petulant child. What the fuck?
And he doesn't even have not even one question.
How the fuck did you find the lightsaber that was literally cut out of my fucking hand on a cloud city? That lightsaber, for all intents and purposes, should not exist. It should be crushed down to the size of a fucking molecule at the heart of a gas giant planet.
No coming back from that.
I know, it looks just like your mom.
Second of all, Finn. Like it or not, in The Force Awakens, he actually had a real story arc.
He begins the movie as a deserter of the First Order. He joins the rebellion after trying to run away from them, finally takes a stand and is willing to die for a cause against an evil Sith Lord.
But
Oh boy.
guess how Ruin Johnson fucks this up?
He starts The Last Jedi as a deserter again. Also, we can get introduced to this affirmative action hire who takes him on a side plot that has no fucking impact on the overall story whatsoever. Rian Johnson uses this entire section of the movie to push outdated leftist politics that would have been more at home in 2004 at the height of the Iraq War.
Guess what, you soy boy cuck mangina? Your movie is about 15 years too late.
Speaking of things that are late, as in dead on fucking arrival,
What?
Rey's backstory.
J.J. Abrams set up a lot of questions with this chick, and we were willing to go along with it as long as the answers fit.
And they don't. They fit like a micro penis and a porn star.
No satisfaction.
None. In The Force Awakens, we maybe, just maybe, could accept that she could do the Jedi mind trick on her first try, even though it took Luke 3 fucking movies to do it.
Or maybe, just maybe, she could hold her own against the Sith Lord despite the fact she didn't get a liver lick worth of training.
A woman who can do all that shit must have some astonishing backstory and lineage.
Nope. Her parents were some junk traders who sold her off for drinking money.
They take all the mystery that they built up around her, throw it away, leaving only 2 words ringing in everyone's head. Mary Sue.
Snoke! What the fuck was up with that? They cut him in half before we could learn anything about that character.
Because he wanted to defy your expectations. Weh?
Fuck.
You know, there are ways that you can do that and have it work, like Luke actually losing his fight to Darth Vader in The Empire Strikes Back.
I am your father.
I want to know what the fuck was up with this guy. How did he come about? How did he come to the dark side? Because guess what? Palpatine's been dead for 30 goddamn years.
All good questions, and Ryan Johnson not interested in answering a single fucking one of them.
Nope, not a one.
And now Palpatine is coming back, because that's gonna help. That's like taking a maggot-infested can of worms and then stuffing a bunch of AIDS-infected dicks in it. Because of The Last Jedi, The Cries of Soy Woker is liable to be a complete, unmitigated fucking disaster. And I don't blame J.J. Abrams for it. I really don't, and I know that's a very unpopular opinion.
Yeah, imagine being the guy you call in and go, hey, you need to write the sequel to Halloween 6.
Not only did they have the entire extended universe that they could have just easily grabbed elements from, but J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan did write a 3-arc storyline for this whole trilogy. Guess what they did with it?
Wipe their ass with it?
And threw it in the fucking garbage, which is what they should have done with the feminism.
Shut the fuck up for a second!
Newsflash, Cuntling Kennedy, The Force Awakens did not succeed because of feminism.
Nope, it succeeded in spite of it. The best gift you can give yourself this Christmas is getting the hell out of corporate land. Leave the old dinosaur economy where it belongs and flip the bird to the office life forever. Purchase CorporateLand on Amazon today. A link is in the description.
That brings us to point number 2, Cuntling Kennedy's agenda of identity politics.
Oh, fuck my ass. There's a reason why this is number 2. Because it's shit!
From the first time it's shoved in your face, ironically like a greedy cock.
Ah, God, get that shit out of my mouth, bro.
Stop taking my hand!
Stop holding my hand. Wah.
He's trying to help you!
Fine, just die. Space Ghost is on anyway. Ray? Well, she's better at everything.
Everything!
Even though there's no logical reason for it.
Even when she has no training, clearly has the emotional fragility of a fucking egg on a bed of nails, and weighs 100 pounds soaking wet, she'll still just kick your ass.
Because, physics.
You come from nothing. You're nothing.
And just think, dudes, this was in the first movie when it was subtle. The Last Jedi is the biggest piece of propaganda bullshit that I have ever seen.
There are ways to inject feminism into an existing IP that makes sense. Like Mad Max Fury Road, for example. The women in this society actually were oppressed.
But this is a master class on how you take $4 billion, put it into the trunk of a car, and back it into a river.
Our movie made over $1 billion. Where? Well, yeah, it did. But you know what else? It made $700 million less than The Force Awakens. When your profit margin between movies drops by 33%, are you really succeeding, or are you at the top of a downward spiral?
Just ask the people who made Solo, Screen 5.
We now live in an era where a Star Wars movie can lose money. Sit on that, put it in your pipe, and fucking smoke it like the dirty cock-hungry whore that you are.
Ha!
Hi, I'm Vice Admiral Holdo, and I'll be your gender studies professor for today.
This vacuous cunt
Sounds refreshing, but it really isn't.
is everything that is wrong with this movie in a nutshell. Ryan Johnson's entire plot for The Last Jedi involves a chase through space between the First Order and a bunch of rebel ships that are running out of gas.
And in this Star Wars universe,
Because it's not the real one.
no, when a ship runs out of fuel, it all of a sudden loses momentum and goes backwards.
Because, they're in space and there isn't any air to help keep going. This fucking Apple genius thinks the best course of action is to sacrifice the vast majority of her forces rather than tell anyone what her escape plan is.
I just want to know what's going on.
Of course you do.
You're in the military, Pop. If Colonel Dina was sitting by while all of your friends were getting smoked and she was telling you, stay the course, because whammon, what would you have done?
I would have mutinied.
So he mutinies. And guess what happens? Leia wakes up after being on the back burner longer than Ryan Johnson's libido in his polyamorous marriage, and slaps him down, handing control of the rebellion back to Holdo.
Oh, and the scene where the plan is finally explained to Poe is completely laughable.
This dude has just watched most of his compatriots get sucked out into the vacuum of space. And what's his reaction to this plan? Oh my gosh, you were so right. I was so wrong. I should have just blindly trusted authority and hashtag trust whammon. Wah.
It's making my penis soft.
Wasn't there a better plan that didn't involve half of our fucking fleet being slaughtered? And by the way, that last ship there that's getting blown up by the First Order, they all had dirt on the Clintons.
And then Ryan Johnson thinks that we're actually gonna give a damn when the stupid bitch offs herself.
This fucking troglodyte tries to feign this heroic death that should have belonged to Admiral Akbar. But where is he? Oh, that's right. You killed him off camera.
Or, if you're gonna give a heroic death to anyone at this point, why couldn't it have been Princess Leia?
Well, yeah, now that Han is gone, we know we're never gonna see all three of them on screen together. Why not just let her die with some fucking dignity? Instead of this Mary Poppins bullshit.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all! Like it or not.
And I don't.
These are the movies we got, and now the whammon are the heroes and in charge.
Even if that means whammon adopting traits that they would see as toxic in men. You know, like pointlessly sacrificing the lives of hundreds of people because I said so. Weh?
Of course you do.
Well, I guess it's just easier for these strong, independent women to accept the deaths of all these people, Pop. You know how they do it?
Huh.
They pretend they're fetuses.
Oh, you went there, Screen 5.
The new, strong, independent woman behaves like a man, has no flaws or children, knows everything and can do everything better than a man, can fight and defeat trained warriors twice their size, physics be damned. Basically, they're mythical creatures we know don't exist. Therefore, they're completely uninteresting and no one can identify with them.
And even if these cock-smoking sausage wallets did exist, no man worth his salt would have anything to do with them.
Amen to that.
How many good movies or bestsellers have you ever read where the main character gets to fuck the prom queen, is rich, never loses, and everything always goes his way?
None. You want to know why?
Why?
Because those characters are the villains. This is not a horror movie, so unless you're gonna pull the rug out from under us and make Rey the villain, you have failed in monumental proportions at the very basics of storytelling.
Now what if they pull it out and turn her into a Sith?
You said pull it out.
Yes, I did.
I don't like pulling it out.
Neither do I.
And especially with Daisy Ridley, I mean, where are you gonna come? You can't come on her tits, she doesn't have any. You're gonna put it in her mouth?
That's a distant second right there.
My dick just made the Kessel run to her mouth in less than 12 parsecs.
Isn't that a measurement of distance?
Fuck you, science has no place in this universe. Ryan Johnson told me so.
Screen 5. And number 3, as in 3-Way Survival Guide, I made a whole episode about it. Check it out.
That is reaching as fuck.
I know, fuck you. The political assassination of iconic characters, but usually only if they're men.
Of course! You know, when Kathleen Kennedy was allowed to head up Lucasfilm after the Disney acquisition, you know what she promised George Lucas? You know, the man responsible for creating this entire universe?
I want to make sure that we have a great transition that's respectful to the characters and universe that you've created.
So basically what you're saying is she looked right into Lucas's face and lied like she was in family court.
This Disney Star Wars universe is 4 films deep, and if you haven't already figured out that Kathleen Kennedy has a grotesque disdain for George Lucas and his creation, you haven't been paying attention, or you have too much soy coursing through your veins for your fucking brain to work.
I think we can start off by talking about everyone's favorite black guy, Lando Calrissian.
Did you know he's pansexual now?
Oh my God.
And that doesn't mean that he likes putting his dick in a frying pan. Although, apparently, if you watch Solo, it means that he likes sticking his dick in a robot. A social justice warrior robot.
You're gonna have to do that thing again later.
Yeah.
Hey Lando, you better make sure you turn down the dial on that toaster or you're gonna wind up with one hell of a French fried fuck stick. Screen 5.
Where the hell did this even come from? There was no homoeroticism in the original trilogy.
Well, I don't know about that.
You're the respectable one, remember?
Oh shit. He likes to stroke the beef jerky.
Speaking of Solo, what the fuck were you thinking casting this ass bag to take over for Billy D. Williams? The dude has all the charisma of a used tampon.
You've heard about me. It's true.
And he sucks at cheating at cards.
And that's not all he sucks.
Once you get to 31, what's 32?
Made a video about it.
Check it out. Of course, we can't talk about any of this unless we cover how they destroyed Han Solo.
You mean how the only legit badass to survive the original trilogy is now reduced to being an orphaned problem child with a last name assigned to him by an Empire flunky?
And on top of that, he's constantly getting his ass kicked by his girlfriend.
You mean the blonde chick who's always showing her tits in Game of Thrones?
Yes, that one.
Well, let's take a look.
All right.
Oh
yeah. In canon, Solo was an Imperial captain who got tired of all the useless killing and bullshit and decided to go his merry way.
And why would you want to tell that story? Because that might actually show strength of character in a way we haven't seen from this guy before.
Instead, they recycle the same moral bullshit that he learned in A New Hope.
So he gives up the money to do the right thing. And he learned this lesson when he was a young man. And for some reason he had to learn it again?
Because they're stupid, they recycle everything, and they don't have an original brain in their skulls.
$300 million to spend and not one dime could be spared for a dose of common fucking sense.
Water everywhere and not a drop to drink because you pissed in it.
You know who we have to talk about next, don't you?
Who?
Luke Skywalker.
Oh, here we go.
Even Mark Hamill disagreed, in his own words, with every fundamental decision Rian Johnson made regarding his character.
What happened between the last one and this one, where the most optimistic guy in the galaxy becomes a suicidal, cranky old man telling people to get off his lawn?
He brought Darth Vader back from the dark side. I would feel pretty optimistic if I pulled that off.
Would you feel optimistic enough to strike your lightsaber in anger against a sleeping kid?
No.
I didn't think so.
Everything about this character is pathetic because the one we're seeing now is not Luke Skywalker.
No, he's not.
And you want to know who else did not escape this nut roll unscathed?
Who?
Princess Leia.
Wow, even the women aren't safe.
Nope.
She's reduced to a glorified cameo in The Last Jedi, so Admiral Gender Studies Professor can have center stage. Because Rian Johnson wanted us to know that our idea of strong, independent women was out of date.
But in 30 years, women will still be dressing up like Princess Leia.
Maybe that's why Rian Johnson made sure to design her character this way, because this is instant feminist, just add 100 pounds. And I know that a lot of people are wondering, how the fuck did this happen? Because women wanted to take over an intellectual property they deemed not for girls. That's like saying water is sexist because men take showers.
I never thought of it that way. That's funny. Star Wars used to be for everyone. It was race, color, and sex blind.
And now they're shoving all that shit in your face and calling it progressive.
Wow, it must be really strong with you.
Never fought any... Ow!
The reason these cocksuckers keep pushing a false narrative about diversity and inclusion being a new thing is because they want to take credit for it. They're narcissistic assholes without an original idea in their heads. And that's why they're pushing narrative and themes over actual storytelling.
Because that's what you do when characters and plot development is just too hard. Wah.
And all of this just to pander to a vocal minority of fucking shithead hipster douchebags who want to stand contrary in the face of reality because they cannot resist the urge to tell their friends that they get it.
You don't get it, you're just an obnoxious asshole.
The only thing you might get is a scorching case of herpes from the prostitute you paid to take your virginity after you spotted her the extra 50 to go bareback because I won't catch anything, because she's different and she loves me. Want to retire someplace on the planet where the women look like this? I thought you did, but if you want to know how, first you need to go to MGTOWbooks.com and purchase MGTOW's Guide to Retiring on 200K in Southeast Asia. Don't forget to use the promo code POPP, that's P-O-P-P, for 10% off. A link is in the description.
And number 4, the rules of canon apparently were made to be broken. What the fuck? We've already talked about how the First Order butt fucks everything that happened in the original movies.
And we've already talked about how Luke Skywalker's entire character arc over 3 movies just gets...
Now we're gonna talk about lightsabers. Are they deadly or are they just for show? Because apparently in these movies they can't decide.
Take a look at the other 2 trilogies and riddle me this. Jango Fett gets his fucking head cut off. Anakin Skywalker gets both arms and both legs cut off. Obi-Wan Kenobi's taking people's arms off in bars. Darth Vader practically just flicks his fucking lightsaber like he's trying to get a stray drop of piss to fly off his fucking dick, and Luke's hand comes off. But in The Force Awakens, Kylo Ren cuts Finn up the middle. He should have been gutted like a fish. Nope, he's just fine. He walks around pissing out of that water suit at the beginning. He's totally cool.
Totally fine. In this shitty fucking fight scene right here, we should see heads, arms, and legs flying everywhere. Nope.
The lightsabers are practically bouncing off their armor, just barely scorching it. And yet, all Kylo has to do to kill one of these guys is turn the lightsaber on.
On behalf of fans everywhere, which is it?
Are these deadly weapons capable of literally melting the fucking lock off a security reinforced bulkhead? Or are they just glow sticks?
It's either one or it's the other, but not both.
But that's not even the most egregious thing. According to Ryan Johnson, light speed is just going really fast, and you can use it as a weapon.
This completely shits on everything that came before it. Not a little bit, but a lot.
If you can just do this, if you can just point any ship, no matter how small, at a whole fucking platoon of ships and destroy them all by going to light speed, why did anyone have to die attacking the Death Star?
I'm just an infantry grunt, and I can see the plot holes in this from space.
Someone paid Ryan Johnson millions of dollars for this bullshit.
I wish I could have been this bad at my job and still got to keep it. And number 5, when all else fails, which it has, blame the fans.
They have been blaming the toxic fandom for the fact that they don't have an original idea in their fucking skull, and while they know how to make movies, they know diddly fucking dick nada zilch zero about telling a story people actually give a fuck about. Even for the new movie, they are preemptively blaming the fans for any potential failure. It's fucking pathetic.
Don't they understand how economics and retail works?
You would think Disney should understand that very well, but obviously they don't.
Nope, the customer is always right, they have the money, and Disney wants it.
Where's my money? You gonna give me my money? Where's my money, man?
You want to know what else Ryan Johnson likes to do?
Watch his wife get plowed in the corner of his bedroom by a black dude?
He likes calling anyone who disagrees with his movies a bunch of man babies.
That's ironic coming from a dude who looks like that.
So, Mr. Johnson, quit thumbjacking your shit box and stick it in your mouth and then switch, because that's what you're doing.
Suck it hard, suck it long, and swallow like the good little soy boy puppy beta bitch that you are.
Amen.
Can you believe we actually have to pay money to see Cries of Soy Woker next week?
I'm tempted not to. All of that optimism that I used to have for Disney buying Star Wars has officially been flushed down the toilet.
And that really is the saddest thing about this whole affair. No matter how bad the prequel trilogy got, there was always a kernel of hope inside each and every one of them that made us not give up. You had the pod race in Darth Maul in the original, the Battle of Geonosis, Yoda kicking ass in Attack of the Clones, the Emperor, the Opera House scene, watching Darth Vader finally come to fruition in Revenge of the Sith. We never gave up. The Last Jedi made people give up.
The new anti-hope, the Phantom Man-Ass.
Episode 71.
Why is it 71?
That's a 69 with two fingers up your ass.
Screen 5.
That's gotta be what Kathleen Kennedy's doing in that ivory palace of hers. You know, she's just switching her fingers between her shitbox and her sausage wallet, and occasionally forgetting which one is which.
And this is what we're getting for Christmas this year.
No, fuck that. Santa can kiss my ass right in the crack. I did not ask for this year. But if you're on the hunt for any last-minute gift ideas, I got one for you.
And what's that?
I want Cuntleen Kennedy, the big boss at Lucasfilm, right here tonight. I want her brought down from her holiday slumber over on Melody Lane with all the other rich Hollywood cocksockets, and I want her brought right here with a big ribbon on her head. And I want to look her straight in the eye, and I want to tell her what a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, titless, hopeless, heartless, fat-assed, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit she is! May the Force be with you! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Oh my God. What he said. I bet you're wondering why it went to credits right after that, because in reality, you can't top that. It took him several tries, but Blake pulled that shit off in one continuous take. Screen 5. And we already know YouTube is not going to give us any money for this video. In fact, they're already suppressing their shit out of the other two. So please, the best you can do is like and share this video. In fact, share it on Facebook, Reddit, anywhere you can, so we can piss everyone off. Send it to every soy boy, cuck mangina that you know, and let the butthurt flow.